Hello fellow compounders. One of the most common questions I get asked is what to do if you had $1,000 to invest. The answer really depends on your objectives. In this video, I will offer several suggestions for what to do with your $1,000, and at the end, I will tell you what I would do and why. Welcome to the Always Be Compounding Club, where we share ideas on how to build, grow, and enjoy wealth. I'm your host, Dennis Chen. I'm a full-time investor and CFA charter holder. Welcome aboard. So let's get started. So, if I had $1,000 to invest, what is my time frame? Is it to save for a brand new car or for a deposit to buy a home? Or is it part of my investment program to be able to retire? In my case, it probably is the latter. How much of a risk am I willing to take? Given that I'm investing for the long term, which is 10 years plus, I'm looking for higher returns. Also, I'm looking for real returns, that is accounting for inflation, for the inflation drag. Before I forget, just a quick disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own financial decisions. I own positions in all the investments mentioned in this video except for VT. So depending on how long you have before you need your money, I've segmented the options depending on time frame and riskiness. So if you're needing your money in less than 12 months, the first option number one, is a savings account. If you have more than 12 months, then option number two will be I-bonds, and option number three is a VTIP, which is Vanguard's Treasury Index Protected ETF. If you have more than 5 years, you have option number four, the Total World Market ETF, Vanguard's ticker symbol VT. Option number five, the Total US Market ETF, symbol VTI from Vanguard, or if you want to use a Schwab alternative, SCHB. Option number six, the S&P 500 ETF, which Vanguard provides ticker symbol VOO, or iShares IVV. And number seven, I would suggest a Berkshire Hathaway, which is Warren Buffett's holding company. And option number eight, Google, which is another holding company, which is more tech related. So to buy any of these investments, you'll need to have a brokerage account. If you're in the United States, I would suggest using M1 Finance or Schwab. And if you're outside of the United States, I would suggest using Interactive Brokers. So let's unpack them. Number one, savings accounts. If you plan to use the money for something other than investing in the next 12 months, then I would just keep the money in a savings account at your local bank or credit union. Of course, I'd use the highest yielding that I have access to. Number two, I-bonds. Currently, as of this filming, I-bonds real return is zero. They are just keeping up with inflation. However, keeping up with inflation is actually okay, especially with the inflation environment around 8 to 9%. Earning 8% in a savings account is currently almost impossible. I would put the $1,000 in an I-bond if it's part of a larger investment program. I consider I-bonds as a cash position in the portfolio. They are not as easy to trade and they require some working around to get into the US Treasury, internet site, and so forth. But it's a very nice option for those who want to park cash and not lose purchasing power. I like having I-bonds as a rainy day fund. Number three, VTIP, VTIP. That's Vanguard's Treasury Inflation Protected ETF. I consider VTIP as a cash position the same way as I consider I-bonds. They are much easier to trade in a brokerage account and are available to anyone that has an account that can trade US markets. Number four, VT, Vanguard's Total World Stock Market ETF. This ETF invests in most of the public companies in the entire world, from small to large to mega caps, from the Americas, Europe, Middle East, Africa, Asia, Australia, everywhere. It has close to 9,500 stocks weighted by market capitalization. This is the ultimate diversification across countries. So you can sleep well at night knowing that all the businesses in the world are working for you. and it only has a 0.07% expense ratio. Number 5, Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index ETF. It gives you exposure to most of the publicly traded companies in the United States. It contains around 4,000 stocks weighted by market cap. By the way, VTI's index is about 59% of VT's market cap. VT, the one that we just mentioned above. Number 6, VOO, Vanguard's S&P 500 Index ETF. It owns 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in the United States, weighted by market cap. I'd like to point out that VOO is about 80% of VTI's market cap. Now, options number 7 and 8 are individual stocks that are somewhat diversified since they are holding companies or conglomerates, which means that there are a collection of businesses under one roof. So let's look at them. Option number 7, Berkshire Hathaway, symbol BRKV, is one of my favorite stocks. It's one of the largest conglomerates in the world. You're getting a basket of businesses that will deliver profits year after year. The top 5 business areas are insurance operations, which includes Geico and National Indemnity. Number 2, railroads, which is BNFS. Number 3, Berkshire Energy. Number 4, Apple. Berkshire owns about 6% of Apple. And number 5 is a investment portfolio worth over $300 billion. It is led by the greatest investor of all times, Mr. Warren Buffett, of course. And even though he's in his 90s, the culture of the company is very strong. So whoever succeeds him should be able to continue without a hitch. I like Berkshire because my investment approach is very similar to Buffett's. I've done several videos on Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway in the past. Here's one of my visit to Berkshire Hathaway's annual meeting earlier this year. In option number 8, Alphabet, symbol GOO. We know it as Google. It's a conglomerate that owns 7 platforms, each with over 1 billion users. There's Google Maps, Search, Chrome, Gmail, YouTube, Android, and the Google Play App Store. It also owns Mandiant, which is a cybersecurity firm, Fitbit, which you know by wearable devices, Looker, which is a business intelligence software and data analytics, Nest, which is the smart home products, and Waze, which is used for navigation in your car, and DoubleClick, an ad management and ad serving solution. Its main revenue source, of course, is advertising. They are the number 1 provider of online ads. I bet that you probably use at least one of Google's platforms every day. I also like that CEO Sundar Pichai is hungry, and I believe that he's doing a great job at making Google more productive. Google is a compounding machine. I suggest that you do more research if you are interested in investing in it. And option number 9 is to use those $1,000 to invest in the best available or the best value that you can find on your investment program list. This assumes that you are investing in a portfolio of individual stocks and that you are doing your research and that you know or always keep a list of potential buys. What would I do? Well, the 20-year-old me, just starting out, would invest $1,000 in VOO and will focus on getting the next $1,000 to invest. Of course, you could argue that VT gives you a global exposure and VTI gives you a more diversified portfolio than VOO. But at this age, at 20 years old, I'm focused on increasing my income to be able to get to that $100,000 to invest. So VOO works for me because it's easy to follow and it's easy to use. The 30-year-old me would put the $1,000 in Google. This would most likely be adding to my investment portfolio, which would include individual stocks. See my video on why you should invest in individual stocks. The link is right here. The 40-year-old me will probably just add stock to the most attractive stock in my investment portfolio. And the 50-year-old me would probably just add to BRKB, Berkshire Hathaway, which I think is a better value than VOO at this time. Otherwise, I'd be adding to just VOO because it's just an easy set it and forget it vehicle. So there you have it. 8 investments you could do today with $1,000. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my new videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video, and remember to always be compounding. Take care.